Devin is up and coming in the industry. I mean, dude, just today, the drummer for Michael Jackson, he shared your video.
That was very unexpected. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Like weird. So weird.
it had to be like one of the most epic things for you. I mean, to have Sugarfoot literally share your video. I mean, damn.
Dude, so like growing up, man, like obviously everybody grew up on MJ. Like everybody listened to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was always in everybody's house. It doesn't matter if you're a metalhead or not. You heard Michael Jackson. So me growing up, my dad was a drummer. You know, Sugarfoot, he's got the pa, pa, you know what I'm saying? He does that stuff. So like growing up, you know, I like always watched his videos and just like idolized him. And he, you know, I thought I like that'd be the last person in my mind that I thought would like share one of my videos with like blast beats and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he gave you a huge shout out. Like, I mean, it's crazy. A lot of the Tommy Lee's been noticing you. All these other guys have been noticing you. I mean, obviously you're getting more followers by the second on Instagram. You guys can check him out at DEVIN ATTARD. He puts up some of the best videos I've ever seen. They're crystal clear. They're, I mean, perfect timed drumming, so technical. And you guys get a chance, you got to watch it. We're going to give you some samples today, but we're going to also interview Devin. So let's get into it, guys. So Devin, one of the things I wanted to know, and I kind of already know the answer because I've done a lot of research on you, but what was your biggest influence on getting into music?
So my dad, like right off the bat, man, like my dad had a kit. He had drums around for me before I even was able to hold sticks. Like he brought me in studios when I was a baby. Like when I was a little kid, I'd be like going around with his band and just like I would admire that. And I got my first kit when I was 1.5, the Christmas before my second birthday. My birthday's on Valentine's Day. So I sat right behind the kit and played a beat, and my dad was just like, he looked right at my mom. He's like, and right from there, it's just been I've been in my blood. Like it's just what's been in my mind my whole life. So like
I know you know this, but like in Michigan, you have two types of dads. You have the musician dad who puts all the pressure on their kid to be a musician because of Detroit and Motown. And you have the other dad that wants their kid to be a sports athlete.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
So like your brother, because I read up on this, your brother was actually the one that was like the sports guy.
Yes, exactly. You're right. So, and I'm
not. So like that's interesting dynamic. So like are you and your brother super tight, or have they always been like Devin's the favorite because he's a musician? Or
oh no, man. See, like now my dad, he loves sports too. That's what I mean. Like my dad played football when he was younger, loved it, but then once he graduated, he wanted to be a drummer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But so with my brother, my dad got to do sports shit. With me, my dad got to do music shit. So he's like, sway, you know what I mean? I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Don't Marissa, don't you hope that like our kids are like that?
Yeah.
Marissa had a question for you about pertaining to like mom life and stuff. Cause so the trip is you have your brother.
Yes.
And from what I'm taking from this, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but you had a really good home life, right? Mom and dad were always super supportive.
Oh yeah.
Mom did homeschooling for 2 boys, which one knows.
Just me.
Oh, so your brother went to school then?
My brother went to middle school and high school, and he did all the crazy shit. And my mom was like, fuck that. I'm home. And yeah, everything turned out solid.
That's crazy. So
yeah, I could not imagine homeschooling both. I couldn't imagine homeschooling one, to be honest. So I give like your mom all the credit for that, because I'm not going to be a homeschool mom. That's wild.
It wasn't easy for her. That's for sure. I like my mom's the same. I love her.
I believe that. How close are you and your brother in age?
So my brother is 26. I'm 21. So like we're
Okay.
like a 5.5 year difference.
Awesome. And you guys are still fairly close.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Me and my brother Stevie, we're tight as hell. I love him with all my heart. But we're both we're both very productive. We literally have the same personalities. Like he just does it in a different field. You know what I mean? So we do our own thing when we see each other. We're just goofing. I love it, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's good to hear that they're still close, even though there's like a 5 year gap. Because we talked about that the other day with the boys, because our two are only a year and a half apart, almost exactly. And
Okay.
we thought, well, if we have another kid, I mean, there's going to be like a 4 year gap between them and our youngest.
Yeah.
And we felt kind of bad.
Well, and the other thing is like Marissa was more curious about like how your mom dealt with it with two boys.
Right.
Because our kids are so fucking wild, dude. Like they're out of control.
And I can only imagine with one being an athlete and then one being a musician, especially the drums, like banging on the drums all day. And then I'm sure the other one's going crazy, with the sports. Your mother must be a saint.
Listen, she has a lot of patience, and so my parents got divorced when I was like 4. So there was a lot of sports and stuff at my mom's because I had my kit at my dad's. So when I would go to my dad's on the weekends, play the hell out of my drums.
Oh, okay. So your mom and dad split.
Yes.
Okay.
So because my mom goes to church, cooks, sweet woman. My dad smokes weed, chills, doesn't want to get off the damn couch, and he wants to go play drums. You know what I mean? Or maybe sing a little. And that's about it. But yeah, so I had the best of both worlds, dude. Seriously. But that gave me the time. My mom homeschooling me allowed me to have the time to be able to put the work into my music career starting early.
So you think that also had a major influence on why you love touring so much and being out?
Oh yeah. Big time, without a doubt, because I got used to being in that environment where I was, with others. I got to talk with people. I got to interact. And that's something that I'm huge and stuck on now is interacting with people. That's the biggest thing that I miss about, playing shows and touring. It's inspiring others, talking to people, getting to know different personalities. You know what I mean? So that definitely played a huge part in it, without a doubt.
Devin's in the band called Hollowfront. For those of you that don't know, is Hollowfront have plans moving forward? Because there are some states that are opening up, but currently, even amidst all the COVID talk and that there's a second COVID scare coming and all this other crap, are you guys in talks right now to get some tour stuff going?
Yeah, man. So I can tell you this: we do have a few tours in the pipeline that are like booked. Where they're just basically the point that our booking agents are at, and then other bands booking agents and managers that we're working with. It's like we don't know, because I've been seeing videos of these shows and people are just moshing like crazy and crowd surfing, and it's been nerve-wracking because it's like, is that gonna kind of just like kill the chance of tours coming back in full swing,
right?
And us able to regularly do that, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like we're waiting to announce anything for when we know a certain amount of the population in the US is vaccinated. They're gonna Live Nation's gonna allow this, you know what I mean? So we got them booked. We got them ready to go. Now it's just we need to make sure that we're in the green. You know what I mean? And that's
you're a major advocate of smoking the flowers, correct?
Oh yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
Would you say, do you feel more creative when you smoke flowers? Like, do you do it during your shows? Do you do it during your studio sessions?
Yes.
100%. And you feel more creative when you do it?
Yeah, so for me, I enjoy a beer here and there, but I'm not one to get drunk. I don't fuck with any drugs. I smoke flower, but I don't do drugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't associate with that. So for me, flower is, if I want to smoke a cigarette, or if I want to, have a beer, my joint is my cigarette or beer or my way to decompress. And the beautiful thing is the different strains and, the benefits to it. Smoke a good sativa, feel very confident. I'm not overthinking. My body feels loose. Do some good stretches. Warm up behind the kit. I feel energetic, and there's nothing that's harming my body whatsoever. So for me, flower is a good way for me to just get in that good creative headspace, really feel myself, be one with my craft, and don't overthink about who's looking at me, what camera is pointed at me, who's going to watch this, who's going to talk shit about it, who's going to like it. No, I'm just going to do what I love to do. So you know what I mean? So that just kind of gives me a little
No, I'm so jealous of you because I've tried it and I can't because I have gnarly anxiety. I mean, you're, in my opinion, musicians are probably the smartest people in the world. You probably got a high IQ, right? You're not going to say it, but
I'm not. I am a genius.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll toot your horn for you. But I know that you musicians are incredibly intelligent. You guys are making art with music and a melody that someone can follow. But I get dude, you guys have you guys are obsessive about certain things. Musicians mostly are. They're obsessive about their music or their art or whatever it may be. Yeah. I'm the same way. So is Marissa. But we tried to smoke weed and I fucking go into this oh my God. And I can't breathe. And it's dude, what happened? Because when I was your age, when I was younger, I couldn't wake up without smoking. I couldn't go to sleep without smoking. All of a sudden this severe anxiety came along. Now I know it's this shit is seriously potent nowadays. It's not the same flower from when I was smoking to now.
Yeah. But especially the flower in Michigan is it's fantastic. It's a treat.
Is it legal in Michigan now?
Yes, fully. Yep.
That's crazy. And so many places are opening up too. I know California is the same way. That's their thing is we have the best weed in the country or whatever.
Dude, there's as many billboards for dispensaries as there is McDonald's billboards.
Yeah, they're going to change our state flower.
Yeah.
Literally.
Who's your favorite musician of all time?
My favorite musician of all time?
Yeah.
So hard a drummer question. That impacted me after my dad is the Rev, Jimmy Sullivan, Avenged Sevenfold. For some reason,
we're going to get into this one.
I really resonated with his playing style, his personality, because I'm very goofy, and when I'm in my environment, being behind the kit at a show, what I'm saying, I can be myself and I can just be wacky and I can just express myself behind the kit. So I saw that in him, and I think a lot of drummers around the world idolized him, and they still do. I love that the younger generation even watches his videos, and you know what I mean. But yeah, the Rev played a huge part in my style, my fills, my energy behind the kit, you know what I mean. So
yeah.
The Rev.
Okay, so we'll get into a clip. So this is a 39-second video of Devin playing the drums real quick, so you guys can kind of get the style that Devin's talking about. So here we go. We're going to play that clip real quick. So hard.
I couldn't do that if I tried.
This is why I think musicians are so smart.
Just practice. You just gotta practice. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, Marissa, sit behind the kit. Give it 5 years. I'm telling you.
5 years? Holy crap! I don't have time for that.
5 strong years. Chop meat out of the water. I promise you.
I did have a question for you about that, though. You said you've been playing, or at least you got your first drum kit at 1.5 years.
Yes.
And you immediately surprised your dad. So that makes me feel like you're born with this talent. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if that can be learned. Like if I picked it up, there's no way. No way. I'm clumsy. I'm uncoordinated. There's no way.
I'll tell you what, like, for me, you know, and I do believe that, like, my purpose on this earth, the reason why I'm here is to make an impact in the music industry and to impact others with a natural gift that I was given. So I was given this gift to help others and to inspire other people to find what they are passionate about and what they are naturally gifted with. Because I think we're all naturally gifted with something. You know what I mean? I never took a drum lesson. I never read a piece of sheet music. I did at church to do a floor tom Easter thing. That's the only time I ever read sheet music, which I regret not learning how to read sheet music because that'd be so badass. Just go in a studio with a jazz band and be like, oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I do think, like, I don't know, like, weirdly enough, I think this is just, like, that is my natural ability to impact others. You know what I mean? So I want to do good with it rather than being a selfish prick.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what advice would you give to somebody who would be like me and is like one day just decides they want to become a drummer?
Dude, like, the first thing that I would say is to not give a fuck about what anybody thinks. And it is highly okay to suck. Something you're passionate about,
100%.
as long as you put the time into it. And here's what I like to tell all my students, a lot of people that I meet on tours. I go by, I try to, because I'm only human. I'm only a man, so I'm not perfect. But I try to go by these three things as much as I can when it comes to what I do. And I call it the 3 Ps. And it's practice, patience, and persistence. Practice, all you need is practice to good at anything, to get good at anything. You know what I mean? As long as you practice, you'll get there. But the patience is what carries that practice. You know what I mean? If you are patient enough, and if you want it badly enough, you will put the practice into it. And if you're persistent, that persistence is going to carry your patience. And you being as persistent as you can and being as patient as you can with yourself is going to make you practice more. And you're not even going to think about the outside world. You're just going to dial in on what you're doing. And as long as you carry that practice, that patience, and that persistence, you're going to get far
in the world. That's why I'm so jealous of rock stars, because I want that feeling. Like, you know, I can't hear podcasting fans go, yeah, you guys. Like,
maybe you can do a sound effect. You can press a button and make them do it.
Yeah, that's the most irritating thing. I can't hear the outcome. I get a review like a fucking restaurant. It's like, oh, yeah, this guy was wonderful. He made me laugh. And food service was hot and perfect.
Like, all I fucking want is a round of applause.
Yeah. You guys get that like instant gratification where like the minute and the drummers are always the ones. Okay, so dude, I'm ready for this. Are you ready to explain the craziest thing that a lot of people have ever seen and still question you and say it's not real? It's a phantom video.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Devin posted a video of him doing a drum beat at 300 beats per minute. So if you guys don't know what that means, this is what it sounds like for you to understand. So I'm going to play that for you guys. And then Devin, you can explain it.
Run it.
Oh my God. The thing is, when you hear music at 300 beats per minute, it's normally shit. It's normally like just really waved out. you managed to like pull it into like where it sounded like you meant to do it. Explain that. Like,
all right, man. So like right off the bat, I did not like plan on doing that. I didn't practice for that. I didn't like we were okay, so whenever I go in the studio, I do content videos. I literally set everything up, stretch, stretch my shit out, smoke, go in, warm up for a sec. I'm feeling hype. Let's run it. So we'll run a random BPM. I'll either, tell him like I'll click it on my sticks and I'll, tell him, or he'll give me a random one. And we were near the end of our session and I was like, give me a random BPM. And he was at like 290. And I started doing the blast beats to it. And I'm doing like alternation blast beats. So it's that's where I'm like switching, you know what I mean?
right.
And I was like, what is this? And he said 290. I was like, just boost it 10 more BPM. And it was that BPM. And I just started doing it. He's like, let's fucking go. He's like, let's run it. We always have the cameras going and shit. So oh, bless you, Arthur. My dog just sneezed. Oof. And
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you, Arthur.
You good, buddy? you hear him sneezing?
Yeah, it's allergies, man.
He's got the Rona. But so Paul was like, let's run it. And I started playing, and it took me a couple tries because in the midst of me doing that, I would like fuck up a fill, and whenever I fuck up something small, I'm like, we're redoing it again.
From the beginning?
I get it. Yes, from the beginning. Like until I get it, because all my videos are one take. You know what I mean? Like it's one
the
take,
same way.
Cracked, like mixed, like everything, the whole 9 yards. So for that, did it one more time. He was like, just fucking push it. He was like, just fucking do it. You got this. Played it. And I've posted on my story, they're like raw, like tracks, like a video of the computer screen, like the raw tracks. And yeah, man, I'd fucking pulled it off.
Nailed it. So when you're with Hollow Front and you guys were recording the albums, like, because you're tracking the drums, this is all what's coming out of your mind, correct? So these are all the beats you're feeling and hearing from the music they're playing for you, right?
Yeah, so like with Hollow Front, Lee does a lot of the pre-production at his studio, at his house. And he'll do like skeleton drums, like really basic shit so he can track guitar to it. And then he'll just give it to me and be like, do whatever the fuck you want to it. But Lee hones me in. When he watches this, he'll laugh. He brings me in because I love doing a lot of fills and like quads with my feet. And he's like, easy, dial it down like 30%, 40%. I'm like, I got you. But yeah, man. So it's a lot of, I just get the free creativity to where they're like, go for it. And with this new record, especially, tracking drums with Carson and Grant, like I was just able to just let out all the ideas, and it was a total different experience. It was so fucking cool.
How long? I know like guys who write the lyrics and stuff, I know that typically they say it, and it's just crazy to me that they can write a song in like 20 minutes. Like how long would it take you typically to nail like one specific track? Like how long would it take you?
We got a song done in like a half hour.
How is that possible? Like,
we got a song done and I mean, like if I know, like a lot of the material that we did, I did not practice. I did not, like when I was learning patterns. So for example, there's a part in the song where it's like da 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 and then it changes. So many crazy patterns like that on the new records where I would take 5 minutes, sit with Carson and Grant in front of the, work area. And I would literally look at the pattern and be like, yada, dot, da, 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 yada, dot, yada, dot, dot, da, da, da. Like literally I would talk that shit over and over and over. And I know we have like footage of that I'm going to be posting soon, just like more behind the scenes shit from the record.
Right.
But yeah, dude, like some of the songs were really fast. Some other songs probably took me like hour and a half, 2 hours. So, you know, because we track part by part. So it's different than me doing it at like my home, not my home studio, but the studio in Michigan that I do my content videos at, where I do everything one take, one playthrough, to where when you're recording an album with engineers like Carson and Grant, we did everything part by part. So I would do like the intro and then stop right before the verse, to where I can let out, like I'll do like 10 takes of each section of the song with different fills, different ghost notes, different shit, whatever they want me to play up there. They're like, hey, try this. I'm their own personal little drum machine. So I'll just
So
do
they
whatever
pick
they
your
want.
best part and they
Yep,
put that
exactly.
into the song for the album.
Exactly.
What a fucking trip.
That's so interesting.
Dope.
That's so
So
crazy that they're
sometimes
able
I
to
would
do
just
that.
feel it to where I would, you know, I would play that beginning section, but then I'd play the rest of the song. I would just, because I just feel it. So I'll just play the rest of the song. They're like, dude, that was fucking amazing. They'll save it. They're like, let's just go through each part, you know, just so we have the best takes.
So they do that in the studio.
Yes.
But my question is, like, do you genuinely think that every song you're going to play on tour is exactly the same? Or do you see do you see musicians sort of changing certain parts during tours? Because it can't ever be the same as what you did in the studio. That's the thing about music, is it changes
drum
every
parts?
time, right? Yeah.
Oh, dude. Live? Fuck it. We put on a show. I put on a show. I will, in a part where a song where there's just like I'll do a
Exactly.
like, and then it flows right in, or right before a breakdown. If there's silence before a breakdown, I'll come in with a gnarly fucking fill, like right into it, rather than us just on the record going, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
where you put, like, you bring them that moment of like euphoria. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
No, well,
listen to the songs, and
that's why I asked you that question, because there was Howard Stern when he interviewed Metallica last time. Lars was talking about I think it was For Whom the Bell Tolls. Every time they play that song, he said there's never been one time he's played it the exact same. So for the past like 30, 40 years they've been touring, he's played that song differently every time.
Yep.
Dude, that's insane. So it's like, you guys can't possibly play the same thing every single time, every single show. That's why everything is so unique, right?
You know, there are drummers that do, though. There's drummers that play part for part the same thing, same hits, no extra fills. Like, they just do what's on the record, which that's good. Like, that's awesome. You're playing the part, you're giving the fans what they want. But I do think it's very important to give them what they came for.
So let's do this. Next one is this is a 43-second clip, and this is my favorite drum clip that I picked out of your clips.
Okay.
This is the most insane drum video, and this is when I talk about technicality as a drummer. I know a lot of my fans don't really know about the whole technical side of drumming. They don't study it like I do, but I will tell you, Devin is one of the most technical drummers I've ever seen. This clip proves it. Here we go. That's so crazy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Most people don't understand the technicality behind that because of the way you transition from each fill. So they don't understand why that's so technical.
For sure.
But guys, for him to be able to control his cymbal work in between each fill, there was 3 or 4 sections to that drum video. And each section he tied in to make it to a 43-second clip where it could have been a 2-hour movie. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like that's the way that I see it, because it's like the part of the drumming where he's taking you, okay, here's the high part, the low, the high, and then the even, and then the back to high, and then finish. Like, it's so crazy to me. I don't know. I'm a psycho.
I couldn't do it. I'll
She-
go back
so,
to that. I couldn't
yeah.
do it.
Marissa doesn't think that, she thinks that you're, and I actually kind of agree, because I think you're born a musician, just like you're born, like was born a comedian. I was born a funny guy. And she thinks that, do you think you could train her to be as good as you are in any period of time if you had endless amounts of time?
Well, he said the 3 Ps. He said if I worked hard enough and I gave myself 5 years, I could maybe,
Yeah.
My answer is no. I could go on for 10 years. I would never be as good.
I think if I dropped everything and I was like, all right, Marissa, here's what we're going to do for the next 5 years. We're going to train you. We're going to incorporate these 3 P. We're going to drill them into your skull.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I could bring you up and then you would just be a fucking just monster.
Should be like, you'd be like the Whiplash teacher. You'd have to make her cry a couple times.
No, I don't think
Now, am I rushing or am I dragging?
No, let me clarify. Before we started here, I have my phone up on a stand for the Zoom call. I wandered around the room looking for my cell phone. So I just want to throw it out there. I mean, maybe my hands could be able to move that fast at one point. I just don't think my mind would be able to.
Yeah, she's the most controlled scatterbrain you'll ever meet in your life.
Awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
so applaud to you. Like, seriously, like, hands down, like, I couldn't. I like,
yeah,
those kinds of
I
people.
appreciate you,
It's
Marissa.
crazy to me.